Hi everybody, my name is Maxi Chanel and I am a drag queen who's been working in this community for about 30 years. And today I have the distinct pleasure of reading to you a book called Super Creatures of the Huron River. So we're going to talk about creatures that live right here in our community in the Ann Arbor, Huron River area. So very excited to read this to you. A little bit about the book. Super Creatures of the Huron River is a project that was conducted by a team of University of Michigan faculty and students in collaboration with the Huron River Watershed Council researchers. Sara Adlerstein developed the project. Working closely with her were Carolyn Berge, Jeffrey Evans, and Mike Wiley from the U of M, and Paul Steen and Pam Labadie from the Huron River Watershed Council. Illustrations for the book were created by MSc student Jennifer Fuller. Adlerstein modified the images and conceived the storyline. Fuller, Berge, and Adlerstein wrote all of the text. And the project was funded by the U of M Water Center as part of their 2018 Water Michigan Collaborative Funding Program. The picture book will be used as a tool to support streamside activities led by the Huron River Watershed Council. And the goal of this early environmental literacy project is to teach kids about stream ecology with a focus on the fascinating bugs that can be found in the Huron River. So we're going to find out all about those creatures and those bugs when I read to you Super Creatures of the Huron River. And away we go. So, once there was a bluegill named Gilly. He swam about on the edge of Lake Erie at the mouth of the Huron River. Gilly dreamed of being a great explorer. He wanted to swim up all 130 miles of that beautiful river. There's Gilly, there's Lake Erie, so Gilly is like right about there, and he wants to swim all the way up here. That's a lot for a little fish. But I think Gilly has it in him. Let's see. Some of his fish friends said to Gilly, "Impossible. Dams have blocked the way for years." But another fish said, "I heard some were taken down." Finally, Gilly declared, "I'll find out for myself." Shivering with excitement, Gilly dove upstream. Fresh, clear water rippled through his gills. The journey would be long, and Gilly's stomach grumbled. Why not stop for a quick snack, he thought. At the rocky river bottom, Gilly spied what looked like a tasty worm. Are worms tasty? To Gilly they are. He sped toward it, opening his mouth wide, and chomp! Much to his surprise, there was no worm at all, just a puffy white cloud. River worms are very strange and not at all yummy, Gilly explained, and swam off. Suddenly, he felt a pinch on his right gill. "Hello," squeaked a tiny voice. "Who said that?" asked Gilly, swishing his fins from side to side. He spun around and found absolutely nothing. Could it be a ghost, he wondered? "You must be very big," said the voice again. "And such a tiny voice must belong to something very tiny," Gilly answered. Indeed, there was a very tiny creature clinging to the inside of his gill. "Who are you?" asked Gilly. "I have no idea," it answered, "but I think I'm stuck here." Gilly decided that a mystery voice was not a ghost. In fact, it sounded quite friendly. "Well, you'll just have to join me on my adventure to the headwaters. Maybe we'll find out who you are along the way. Adventures are like that, I've heard." "But you should have a name," Gilly said. He looked up at the river surface dotted with lily pads. "How about Lilly?" "I like that," said the tiny creature, and Lilly she was. Close by, Gilly spotted a very small creature dangling from the surface. "Could this be one of your relatives, Lilly?" Before she could reply, it said, I think not. I am an extraordinary mosquito larva with a very special skill. On top of this river that we all share, I stick up my snorkel and breathe in fresh air. I gulp and I wiggle, and you might stare. To breathe through a straw is really quite rare. It is my superpower. Gilly was impressed. I have gills, but this guy uses a straw. Cool. Lilly was sure she didn't have a super straw. That's not me, she said, and off they went. You see that? That's the mosquito larva with the very special skills. That's the straw that he sticks up so that he can breathe. Pretty cool, huh? Glad I don't have a straw to have to breathe, though. That's a good thing. I like breathing with my lungs. But then I don't live in a river, so there you go. As he swam along, Gilly felt the water ripple gently above him. When he looked up, he saw a swarm of tiny, agitated bugs. One of them poked its head underwater. You see it? Little bug poking its head in. Hello, I am a spring-tailed nymph. Hi, Lilly replied. Do you have a superpower? And what is a nymph? A nymph is a critter that's not fully grown. Adults say we're immature. Most leave us alone. My tail springs my superpower. Springs me so high, the birds are all fooled and say, look how you fly. The little nymph was an amazing athlete, but Lilly knew she didn't have a springy tail. Oh well, said Gilly, we'll just keep going. So there's the little nymph, and he's springing through the air. You see that? Along the way, they stopped where the river calmly flowed. Gilly popped his head above the surface. A small creature with 6 spindly long legs greeted him. It danced atop the water, tapping its toes to its own little song. I'm a super water strider with talents you can see. I glide along the water, moving super light and free. The tension of the water keeps me balanced and on top. I can skate or do the tango without being made to stop. What amazing performance, said Lilly in her biggest voice, but she quietly admitted that she would make a terrible water strider. Let's move on, urged Gilly. See the 6 legs? There's the 2 and then 4 big ones, and it can dance right on top of the water. I wish I could dance on top of water. So, onward Gilly and Lilly swam. Suddenly, a long snout-shaped whizzed past them with incredible speed. Who are you? Lilly screamed. The zooming shape returned instantly and screeched to a halt. Breathlessly it said, I'm a dragonfly nymph with a water jetpack that's attached to my butt so that I can attack. I zoom like a rocket when I spot my prey. My jaw is fast too, so get out of my way. See? Got the jetpack moving really fast. After zooming away, a new critter took the dragonfly's place. It looked more relaxed. Gilly asked, Are you a dragonfly too? No, I'm its cousin, a damselfly, it replied. Unlike the speedy dragonfly, I don't move quite as fast, but I have other powers, so I never come in last. 3 feathers on my hind end parts are there so I can breathe. My lower jaw shoots out so quick, and that's how I feed. And with that, the damselfly larva walked off. What a super way to catch food, Gilly thought, feeling hungry again. Gilly's like me, because I'm hungry too. Further along, they spotted something big floating in the water. Gilly cautiously approached. The giant water bug slowly flexed its large pincers and said in a deep, eerie voice, "A giant water bug am I. To ambush is my trick. When unsuspecting prey gets close, I gobble them down quick." Gilly sped off just in time to escape the giant water bug's pincers and swam away as fast as he could. "Whew, that was close," said Lilly. "What a scary superpower." After escaping that frightening creature, Gilly was getting tired. Slowly, he swam to a shallow area with many rocks and twigs to see what he could find. There, he spotted another strange bug. It was spinning a net and carefully building a nest-like structure out of twigs. "Who are you?" said Lilly. "I am a caddisfly larva," it said. "I am a binder of stones, a weaver, a builder. I make my own home. I'm a silk-making spinner. The net that I build is really a winner. I lay it on rocks to catch my dinner." Lilly thought this was wonderful, but she could not weave. "Let's keep searching," said Gilly. That's the caddisfly larva. See, it's spinning its house. Pretty cool. It's like the equivalent of being able to build your own house. Not an easy task. Suddenly, Gilly came to a standstill. "What's wrong?" Lilly asked. "Is it another giant water bug?" This big creature was nearly 4 inches long and had large, sharp pincers. Gilly recognized it immediately. "That's the strong, dangerous Dobsonfly larva, Lilly," he said. "We've got to hide." Quickly, they swam back to the river bottom, where a mayfly larva called to them. "Shelter yourself beneath the rocks and flatten out like me. The Dobsonfly won't find you here. Can't eat what he can't see." Gilly and Lilly watched in awe as the mayfly larva squeezed underneath some rocks. It was kind advice, but Gilly knew he couldn't make himself that skinny. Yeah, I can't make myself that skinny either, but we gonna try because we got to get away from this thing. "Wait," said a voice. "It's Caddisfly here. I build a stone house so I can disappear. I'm skillful at gluing those pebbles around and blending right in with the riverbed ground." The caddisfly larva had glued so many bits of rocks and sand to its body that it was barely visible. Though Gilly did not have such abilities, this gave him an idea. He quickly wriggled between the rocks, which were the same color as his scales. So Gilly, Lilly, Mayfly, and Caddisfly camouflaged themselves and held very still. The great pincered Dobsonfly larva passed by. "He didn't see us," sighed Gilly, as he watched it slowly disappear downriver. As hungry as he was, Gilly resisted eating Mayfly and Caddisfly for dinner. After all, they had saved their lives. "The coast is clear," said Gilly. "Time to go." Gilly and Lilly continued their river adventure for many days and nights. They encountered new creatures, large and small, but none of them were like Lilly. As they swam on, Gilly began to wonder if they were getting close to a dam. He lifted his head from the water to peer upstream. All seemed calm, at least for now, but something was going to change. Uh-oh, what's going to happen? Let's find out. The further he swam, the more the surface started to churn. The water grew louder and roared above their heads. Gilly started to tumble in the turbulent waters and saw a great big wall in front of them. It was the dam at Flat Rock. "Sorry, Lilly," Gilly said sadly. "Looks like our journey ends here." Lilly thought for a moment and replied, "It's okay, Gilly, even if I didn't find out who I am. We learned so much. It was a great adventure." Lilly's words made Gilly feel so much better, and he leapt right out of the water. Cruising above was a small bird with an oversized beak and a fluffy head. See, look at that giant beak and that fluffy head. "That's my old friend, Kenny the Kingfisher," said Gilly. When Kenny saw Gilly, he chirped, "Gilly, my fellow adventurer, I have news for you. Flying up the river, I'll tell you what I found. A dam further on has been taken down. The dam is in Dexter, and maybe, time will tell, humans will go tearing down the other dams as well. If in your future travels you pass along this way, you might swim for all 100 miles up Huron, no delay." "I hope you're right, Kenny," said Gilly as he flipped his tail goodbye. "I guess we'll head back for now, Lilly." Gilly swam from the churning water into the calmer depths of the river. There he saw a large group of small, dark-shelled creatures. Say that 10 times fast. Said Gilly to himself. "This looks familiar." Lilly felt drawn to their enchanting voices. "Can you swim closer?" she asked. "I want to hear their song." As they drew near, a chorus of mussels poked their bivalve heads above the riverbed, singing, "We welcome you, Lilly, and Bluegill, your host, who once gulped you down and thought you were a ghost. A traveler, you, and his gills were your nest, until it was time to stop being his guest. Your journey was winding and wondrous and long. It took you some time to change and grow strong. You finally found home after traveling so far. A Lilliput mussel, that's who you are." We figured out who Lilly was. She's a mussel, a Lilliput mussel. You know about Lilliputians? They're from Wizard of Oz. They're tiny little people. Well, she's a Lilliput mussel, so she's a tiny little mussel. I have a few tiny little mussels myself. I try to work out, but, I'm still working on it. We'll see if we can stop them being Lilliput mussels. So we found out what Lilly was. She's a Lilliput mussel. "Now I remember," said Gilly. "I found you in a place just like this, Lilly. You must have been in that puffy cloud." "And I found out who I am," Lilly replied. "Thank you for being my host." "And thank you for being my traveling companion," added Gilly. Lilly had grown and changed, and now she knew it was time. Lilly gently detached from Gilly's gill and floated down and burrowed herself into the middle of the group of Lilliput mussels. She was home at last. Then a chorus of goodbyes followed Gilly as he swam away. He was sad to leave, but very happy for Lilly. What an adventure, thought Gilly. He had discovered interesting creatures, a bit of danger, and wonderful friendship. The end. So that was all about Gilly's adventure upstream and meeting his really good friend Lilly. And if you ever get this book, Super Creatures of the Huron River, they have a description of all of the cast that was in the story. You have the mosquito larva, the springtail nymph, the water strider nymph, the dragonfly nymph, the damselfly nymph, the scary giant water bug. And what else do we have? We have, of course, Gilly and Lilly, the net-spinning caddisfly, the mayfly nymph, and the case-maker caddisfly larva, the dobsonfly, and, of course, Lilly was a Lilliput mussel. So that was all of your cast, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Of course, Gilly was a bluegill, and his friend was a belted kingfisher, one of the birds of the Huron River. So I hope you enjoyed this story. And if you want to, go out and get Super Creatures of the Huron River. Proceeds from it go to a great cause, the Huron River Watershed Council. And I have been Maxi Chanel, and thank you for letting me read this story for you.